Hello and welcome back to another TMNT standard video, and we are going to be continuing our trend of taking a look at some deck lists from the not regional championship, sorry, Spotlight series in Richmond, Virginia, and we are going to be taking a look at a deck list that made it all the way to 8th place in the hands of Brian Zhang. Now, if you recall, taking a look at this deck list if you watch the feature matches at all over the weekend, this deck list was labeled as Rakdos Rummaging, not Rakdos Monument. And I think partly due to the fact that this list in particular, and maybe some of the other ones, you'll notice here where the monuments at. Where'd they go? Did we forget them? No, they're just not here. And it looks a little strange at first, but the more that I think about it, it kind of makes sense to me. So Monument to Endurance is a card that is very, very powerful when you're pairing it with other discard outlets, things like Fear of Missing Out, Inti Seneschal of the Sun, Bitter Triumph, Bloodthorn Flail, so on and so forth. But the thing is, Monument to Endurance, while powerful, it's much better when you're pairing it with a lot more interaction. In the Izzet decks, like in the Izzet Lessons decks that pair it with Artist Talent, Monument and Artist Talent, they can sort of take advantage of the extra card advantage that Monument provides because they play more interaction, more card. They're much more of a control deck. But if you're just trying to get your opponent dead, Cool But Rude kind of does the same thing as Monument, but it's not gated and limited to once per turn. Whenever you discard a card, deal 2 to each opponent. Not limited to once per turn. So when you're putting these cards in an aggressive deck like this, it kind of makes a lot more sense to just trim the curve and just play Cool But Rude. This particular list also features 4 Flamewake Phoenix and 4 Bloodghast, so maximum number of cards that come back from the graveyard. The one omission that I found very, very strange about this deck list, 0 copies of Iron Shield Elf. Certainly that card is a lot better with something like Monument to Endurance, but even without Monument, especially if you're playing 4 Phoenix and 4 Bloodghast, a little surprised to not see any elves. And instead we're playing more Fear of Missing Out and more Inties. And then the 1-drops, we still have the same number of 1s, 4 Marauding Mako, 4 Moonshadow, and 4 Bloodthorn Flail. Those are sort of standbys. The games where you have a 1-drop on turn 1 with this deck versus the games that you don't are just completely night and day. This deck is so much more powerful when you have that fast start and you can get onto the board early. The other new card that this list is playing is 2 copies of Casey Jones' Vigilante, which I tried initially in the early access version of Monument that we played before. That version had 4 Raphael's Technique, and that card is, that was more of a meme. But I think Casey Jones is kind of here to stay, just as an option. 4/3 for 3, when it enters, you draw 3, next upkeep, discard 3 at random. But again, if you have a Cool But Rude, it's not really a downside to discard 3 cards, because sometimes when you do that, your opponent is just going to take lethal damage. So yeah, Casey Jones, fantastic. And later in the game, when you have access to more mana, you can use Casey Jones, sometimes utilize all of those cards, or if you draw an instant like a Bitter Triumph or Requiting Hex, you can use those before the Casey Jones trigger on your next upkeep, even if you don't have mana the turn you play it. And then the other cool thing about this deck is the single copy of Desecrex, which is I think it's Carnage Crimson Chaos in Paper Spider-Man form. The really nice thing about this as being a one-of is Cool But Rude, believe it or not, has a 3rd mode on it. When you you search your library for a card, put it into your hand, discard a card at random. So you get to these spots where if you tutor for Desecrex, you either discard it, which is good because you can mayhem it, or if you don't discard it, well, you can just discard it to something else and then mayhem it anyways. So it's sort of a win-win situation there. That is pretty much it for the main deck. There's, 4 removal spells, 3 Hex, and a Bitter. The mana base, nothing too crazy. A single copy of Restless Vents along with our 16 dual lands. And then in the sideboard's where it gets a little interesting. First of all, cards you would normally expect, like discard, more kill spells, graveyard hate. The one card that I want to point out here is Cam and Ferric Havoc Duo, which I think is Hobgoblin in paper form. 1/2 haste flying for 2. Whenever you discard a card, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Given how more reliant on this version of this deck is on the graveyard with 4 Phoenix and 4 Bloodghast, it looks a little weird to sideboard this card, but I think it makes sense because in the postboard games, you kind of want to have just a generically good card that you can trim on some of these Bloodghasts and Phoenixes, expecting your opponent to board in a lot of graveyard hate. So you can kind of pivot a little bit with the Cams, the Carsey Revenants, and maybe the Sunspine Lynxes. So just something to think about for the Rakdos players moving forward. But yeah, this was the best performing version of the Rakdos discard deck, and there's no monuments, which I found very interesting. And I'm very curious to see how this particular list plays out And we're going to do that in just a second. So without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for the first match. He was on the cusp of shouting "Go home, monogreen." I mean, when there's 4 monogreen top it, when there are 4 monogreen decks in top it, I can't blame them, you know. You can't blame the guy. This hand's good, by the way. It doesn't have a 1-mana creature, but I think it's good enough. Oh, okay. Well, I lied. What was that thing I said about not having a 1-mana creature? I mean, they're gonna kill it anyways, but... Challenge. Challenge. Is there a world we lead on the flail? No, I mean, I just, like... on the draw against red, you have to try to go for the high roll plays. Like, you just have to try and nut draw them, and I think you're just better off going Moonshadow to Cool But Rude. Personally. Maybe on the play you can lead on flail. I just don't think you can do that on the draw. Oh, okay. Well. I'm at 3. There's that. What? What? I guess I'm at 3. I don't know, man. Guess I'm at 2? Surely they can't kill me this turn, right? I don't think I want second flail. Sure. Let's go here. I guess I shouldn't have played my land first. Yeah, there you go. Maybe they don't have a burn spell. I would say it's pretty unlikely they have a burn spell here. I think pretty unlikely. Dude, why did they attack first? What was the point of that? Okay, sure, man. Sure, man. I love Magic players sometimes. Magic players are great. Okay, Casey out. Maybe Cool But Rude. Potentially. Cool But Rude is like, it's powerful, but it might be kind of slow. I don't know that any of my cards in my sideboard are better than Cool But Rude, though. Maybe just try and nut draw them with Cam and Ferric. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see Ross do well this weekend. He wasn't sure what to play, too. He messaged the Discord, and he's like, testing the past 2 days, throw everything out the window. I don't know what to play now. So it was good to see him do well. Yeah, that's a good point, Covert Man. Like, the blue cards are very powerful, but you do lose a lot of percentage points against the other aggressive decks because you have so many shock lands, so I do understand that for sure. Yeah, he messaged that in our Discord too. He's like, dude, I don't know what to do. So he just said, fuck it, I'm gonna play Prowess, which makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to play something like Prowess. That's like the exact type of deck that he thrives with. Stop killing my shit! Kind of want to discard the other FOMO. It's weird, but I'm actually going to hold up Hex, too, instead of play Flail. Nothing. The hell are they doing over there? Alright, well, how do you feel about Cool But Rude? Chat, what on earth is in their hand? Maybe I should have kept the flail. They clearly don't have creatures, right? I don't know. I don't know what's in their hand, man. I couldn't tell you. The Legend of Roku. Yeah, I feel like that's not a card you're supposed to board in on the draw. Alright, your turn. I'm in. I guess I don't really have a lot going on, to be fair. I got some hexes. It turns out it would have been a lot better to keep that that Bloodthorn Flail. I just kind of thought, like, like eventually they would draw creatures, but apparently they just haven't. Yo, check this out. Like that play? Was that too fancy? That might have been too fancy. Okay. Hired Claw. FOMO with Coolbot Root is kind of hot. Enabled Delirium. No, I know that. That's part of the reason I did it, you know. I'm actually just gonna go to combat. No, I should play Coolbot Root first. And then go to combat. So, I guess we'll resolve the FOMO trigger first. Do this. Take 2. Do this. Take 2. And then I just have lethal. Because second combat, I can deal them 6 more. God, extra combat steps with Coolbot Root FOMO is pretty gross. Take 2. Take 2. Take 2. Take... Okay. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Interesting. This deck is sick as hell. I really do love this deck. It's really sweet. Isn't Coolbot Root like $20 now though? I don't want to spend that much on Coolbot Roots. What's up, TZ? How you doing today? 13. That's still kind of expensive. I spent too much money on pre-modern cards this weekend. I didn't even buy that much. I'll show you what I got from pre-modern. Okay. First up, and I only got these because Snook yelled at me, because we were like sitting down at the table before day 2. Okay, this time I think I'm gonna lead on Flail. We were like sitting down at the table before day 2 started, and we were just like, you know, I showed him my pre-modern deck, and he laughed at my Carplusan Forests. So I bought these from Toa for 15 each. They're like a little beat up, but they're not too bad. But God, dude, it's just like, look at that old art, man. They're so good. They're so good. 15 wasn't too bad, though. So I bought those. And then, what'd they do? They did that. How do you feel about this? Discard. Do I want to gain 2 life here? I think I do. Three, 2. Maybe it wasn't worth gaining life. I kind of want to discard a card again, just to play around shock. That sounds kind of crazy, though, doesn't it? Man, I don't know. Maybe the gaining the 2 life was bad there. I'm just gonna pass. They do have 8 shocks, though. And then the other card that I purchased was this thing. Which, not terrible condition. I'll show you the back of it, and I'll tell you it's a reserve list card. There's the back, right? If I told you it was a reserve list card, right? Okay. If I told you it was a reserve list card that I paid $65 for, what do you think it is? Reserve list card, $65. Can you guess what it is? Ding, ding, ding. Which is actually pretty good because I bought another one from the LGS like a couple weeks ago, and I think I ended up paying 70 there, so, and it was like roughly the same condition. So not too bad. Yeah. And honestly, 65 is low. It's crazy. 65 is actually low. Okay, I am going to do this, which looks a little weird, but I'm going to get it at a lightning strike range. It's over 100 Canadian? Jesus. That's wild. Yeah, cards are... Dude, pre-modern cards are just, like, unreasonably expensive. Well, mostly just the reserve list stuff, you know, but... Carsey was a good draw. Do I want to make Carsey a 5/4? No, because if they kill Carsey, I just go counter here and they can't win, right? I'm blocking. Do they really have double Boros Charm? There's no way. There's no way they have double Boros Charm. Next time on Streamer Calls His Cards every single time. Ooh, this hand's nice. I guess I go Shadow first. Jesus. I mean, I don't know if this is good, but we're gonna fucking figure it out. I don't know, man. I'm gonna cast Casey Jones and hopefully make 12 power the next turn. Oh! Oh, you'd like me to discard a card. I can do that. I can do that, I think. If you insist. GG. GG. You know, I'm going to cut my kill spells, I think. I'm going to do that. I think I like that. Case seems good, and I don't know, fucking a 3/3 for 3? Send it. The whole point was to draw it more often, but still didn't do that. This hand has no 1-drops. But I'm going to keep it anyways, because it is. It is a cool but rude hand. Alright. That's just rude. That's not even cool. I mean, I kind of think I should just be playing my cool but roots first. Just blank all their kill spells. Oh my god, that's a Furdock core. Fuck it, we ball. This is the Chad play. I'm hoping to draw untap land so I can just level 2 of these. And then I don't know how they win. Trying to race? You trying to race over there? Oh. Okay, well, I mean, I play a creature now, I guess. Untap land? Could be worse. Could be worse. I mean, still, double level next turn. They kind of have to have 2 kill spells. Well, never mind. They had 2 kill spells, kind of. Need to not get auto-tapped, please. This one. Yeah, okay. I did it. I think I can erase this core, right? I'd like to think that I can race a 3-mana 4/4. They're at 20. It's gonna be close. Okay, that's 4. Trigger, trigger, trigger. And then... do I just cycle Mako? Put them to 12? I could also deploy Inti. Now, let's do Inti tap land. I think I like that better. I guess that's worse if they have a second Black Sun, which would make a lot of sense for them to have, right? With them not doing anything. Yeah. Okay. I didn't like that. Well, now what? Kind of just dead on board, if you think about it. What if I gamble for a Bloodthorn Flail? Is that good enough? Gamble for Flail, discard anything but Flail. They go to 14. Play other guy, play Flail. No, I just don't have enough cards in hand. Yeah, they go to 10. That'd be 6. Shit. I guess we should just go... Yeah, let's just go Flame Wake and go to combat, I think. We get 2 triggers here, which is 10 damage. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Mako first. Yeah. Wait, this is 2 in a cycle? I thought it was 3. I'm stupid. But you knew that already. So... God, they're not dead because... Wait, I just had lethal if I kept the land, right? Because if I keep the land, I can play the flail and gamble. So I keep... No, because if I keep land flail, I gamble... No, it still wouldn't have been lethal, right? Man. Don't I still have lethal? No, Mako is 2 to cycle. I guess I can gamble for a land and then hope to discard the Mako? I could do that. Right? Just gamble for a land, hope to discard the Mako. Fuck it, I'll do it. Get it twisted. You know. Okay, not quite. We still have a blocker though, so it's like maybe okay. All right, your turn. Don't kill me. And then we have the vents to do the cool but rude, and we can chump block the core. So we're on the hook for 2 right now. And even if they have kill spell plus anime core, that's only 6. So it's still not lethal. I don't care about that. Also, don't care about that. Alright, they're mega dead. Mega, ultra, super duper dead. See ya! I'm pretty sure I may have had lethal that turn. I'd have to go back and check, but... Because they were at 18 and I had 2 Coolbart Root triggers. And that's why they went to 10, but only after I attacked. So I don't think I could have gotten them down to 10 pre-combat, right? Because if I do 1 gamble, that's only 4, which puts them to 14. But then I still need one more discard pre-combat. I don't know. It's weird. But TLDR, this deck can kill from it can kill from some pretty crazy spots. Like, just, it's wild how much damage this deck can just produce out of nowhere, you know? Burst Lightning Spell Snare. So they're, Spellementaling. Hmm. I think I'm going to play around... Have another Spell Snare? It seems like they probably have Burst Lightning here, so I kind of don't want to equip. I'm just going to pass. What is Oko wearing? He's got a scarf. It's cold outside, man. Streamer, why didn't she win big tournament? I tried. I guess I didn't try super hard, but I did try, you know. An attempt was made. I think I'm just casting this thing, right? Mayhem for 2? Yeah, I'm casting this shit. Hell yeah. Get back into. And we'll discard next turn. That's fine by me. You're 19. Holy. Okay. Well, fucking now what? Now I don't know what to do. All right, I'm pretty sure I cast this, and I'm pretty sure I do this. That's the easy part. So I imagine we just go to combat first. So let's resolve this first, then this. So discard this. Trigger. Discard this. Counter here. Okay. Maybe there was a better way to do that. That didn't feel very good, right? I don't know. Maybe I should have gone no level on the Kulba Rude, just to get back the Phoenix. Maybe that was better. Okay. You're at 6? Wait, they're just dead, right? Oh, no, they have a flyer, right? They have a flyer. Never mind, never mind, never mind. At 14? I can gamble for... How is this deck so hard to play? It's like Rakdos aggro. I feel like I shouldn't have this many decisions playing Rakdos aggro, you know? I think Tutor Casey. And then it doesn't matter what we hit because we're... Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Because if we hit Casey, I can just... Oh, no, because if we discard Casey, I can't play the Desecrex. So maybe that was bad? I see what you're saying, though. If I hit Desecrex, then I can go Mayhem Desecrex, get back something else. Or if I can also just cast Casey at that point. Well, I mean, at that point, no, because this is what, next upkeep? Yeah, I was going to say hold the land in hand and wait a turn on Casey, but then I probably just die on their turn if I do that. No, there's only one Desecrex in the deck. There is no second Desecrex. They're stomping me. Oh, that's really bad. I didn't like that. I really did not like that. Wait, they just die to the fish, don't they? What am I missing? They have burst lightning? Oh. Hmm. Was there a way for me to play around that? Should have discarded Desecrex? How would discard Desecrex have mattered? I didn't have any mana left over to cast it. Play land, discard Carnage. Oh, and get back the Phoenix? Right, okay. So discard Desecrex, keep the land, put them to 2. If they don't burst... Yeah, okay. I see. Yeah, good call. Dude, this deck is shockingly hard to play for for a Rakdos aggro deck. Like, what the hell, man? I shouldn't have this many decisions in my Rakdos aggro deck. Like, you can't just make me think like that, you know? I'm not good at thinking in these spots. I'm just not good at thinking, period. Still loses the burst. No, because if they burst the token, which they have to do, right? They have to burst the token before the flail resolves. If they do that, I go land Desecrex, get back Phoenix, kill them because they're at 2. If they don't cast the burst, well then I just discard the other land and they're at 2, so they're dead, right? So it kills them either way. Opponent leads off with an Isla. I mean, they can't have Spell Snare every time. It do. Technically not Spell Snare. That is true. It in fact was not Spell Snare. Like I said, they can't have Spell Snare every time, you know? And I was not wrong. What the Okay, sure. That's one way to get the lands out of your hand. That was a good play. I like that play. I was impressed. Maybe I shouldn't level this turn. I kind of just want to play a second FOMO. Maybe Casey is higher upside. Yeah. I think this is fine. What are we on Delirium count? Creature enchantment? Yeah. Goongala. What is Goongala? My man piloting this on Sunday was doing some yeah, exactly. It's just like you have to do so much fucking math with this deck, dude. I don't want to do that much math, you know. I don't want to think about that kind of stuff. I just want to play creatures and attack. This deck is too big brain for me. Like, what the hell do I do here? They got 2 in hand. Well, creature enchantment. This would be land. Hey, what would I gamble for? I don't think gambling is that good. Could just play it slow. Start leveling. Like, play second cool but rude, level the first one, pass. Set up for a big turn next turn. I think I like that. I'm gonna hold the land in hand, too. Because I'd rather discard this to the cool but rude for Delirium. It's not nice. Hearth Elemental in this deck? I mean, it is pretty nice with cool but rude. Just dump your whole hand and dome them for 1,000,000. But, like, do you really need more cards that are good with cool but rude? Your whole deck is good with that card. Okay, this didn't work out super well for me. So... Well, shit, now what? I think I could take one more turn off, honestly. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna go level 2, play a tap lane, and pass. And I'm gonna try to... basically, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to empty my hand before gambling so I can just entomb Desecrex. That's the plan. And then I can save the other gamble for... I guess I don't know what I'm saving the other one for, but... You know what I mean? I feel like I have a little bit of time. Not too much, but I think I have a little bit of time. Damn it, I was really hoping to draw a spell. Okay, well, I guess we just get it twisted. Ladies and gentlemen, get it twisted. Yeah, of course. I knew that was going to happen. Well, fuck. Now what? I really wanted to discard that Desecrex, man. I could just hardcast it, I guess. All right, I just hardcast it and grab Casey. Yeah, and then they're just guaranteed deck next turn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. Because this is 12 damage on my upkeep. Doesn't matter what they do, I can take 8. Nice 3 lands. I mean, it doesn't really matter what these cards are. They're just dead, right? I guess they could Flood Maw Cool but Rude. They didn't do that. Pew, 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 pew! Damn, Cool but Rude is nice. Maybe I need, like, a second Bitter Triumph for the stupid... Just to be able to kill their first elemental so they can't get to Sunderflock. Let's do that. Also a discard outlet. Yeah, this deck is sweet as hell. And if you would like to purchase cards for this deck by yourself at home, you may do that. Do you guys know where you can do that? I know where. CoolStuffInc.com. ! Cool stuff to get yourself a link and use code DOOM at checkout for 5% off of your next order. Hashtag sponsored. Hashtag ad. This hand does not look very appealing at all. Like, at all. What? This hand doesn't do anything. Kind of does something. Alright, check this out. You ready? This is the Chad play. Get this tap land out of here. Let's see. That's why we bottomed the tap land, folks. Never punished. Dude, it's just like on the draw, you can't have tap lands on the draw. They're illegal. Tap lands on the draw are banned. You just can't have those. They don't exist. I had a fun time. It was a good weekend. I didn't think I was going to have as much fun as I did with a 9-hour car ride, but honestly, the car ride was not that bad. And I had a good time hanging out with the homies. Do I just, like, jam Casey? Nah, surely it's Inti Mako first. No, it was not a solo ride. I drove with 2 of my other friends. I did play the main event. I played Demir Excruciator in the main event. Ended up going 4-4 before I dropped. And then I played the Sunday Super RCQ on the modern Super RCQ on Sunday, which I ended up going 5-1 in that event to get my second invite for the upcoming season, which was good because I only had 1 invite for the upcoming RCs, so getting the second one's nice. I knew that was gonna happen too. I knew as soon as the Casey trigger went on the stack, I knew there was no way I was gonna discard that Phoenix. And you knew that was going to happen, too. Probably not the card they wanted to cast this turn. Probably not the card the card they wanted to play. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I mean, I'm in there. Mako or Moon Shadow on turn 1? Not sure. I feel like it's Moon Shadow. Just because, you know, they could play a blocker. But I guess Mako also gets through blockers. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Moon Shadow first. I don't know. I don't know if that's right, but... You can do both, yes. Wife is not going to be happy. Well, you know, you can find a way to make her happy. Paw Patch Recruit. Fear of missing out. No, I'm not going to the MagicCon. Just so far, the tournaments that I'm planning on going to are DC and Cincinnati RCs, and then, I mean, like the Hartford Spotlight Series, but that one's a ways away. So I'm planning on going to those ones. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm currently planning on going to. I think Hartford is modern, right? If I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure Hartford is modern. Whatever the Hartford spotlight. Maybe that's October. I don't remember. But I will be going to that. I think there might have been one in, like... Well, there was another one on the East Coast that I was thinking about going to. I can't recall, though. I want to say there was, like, one or two other spotlights on the East Coast that I was thinking about going to. Okay. Alright. They played a Paw Patch and a Hired Claw. Okay, good talk. Good talk. Push the tempo. I also checked I checked last night to see when the new sets are coming out in relation to the upcoming standard RCs. And thankfully, Marvel will not be out by either of the RCs. It's just going to be Strixhaven. So thank God there's not 2 more sets that come out before the RCs, because that would have been tough. Cool but rude. This hand definitely needs a lot of help, but any creature in it kind of cooks, so let's try it. Already exhausted on standard releases? Well, oh boy, do I have good news for you. I hope you like Strixhaven. I really hope you like Strixhaven. Okay, now I'm kind of just dead. I didn't like that. There's no way that I can cast Cool But Rude this turn, right? Just no chance I have time for the second one of these. Actually, do this for delirium purposes. Fire-brained scheme. She braining my fire till I'm scheming? She's scheming my brain till I'm on fire? No? Nothing? Yeah, Strixhaven releases probably, I think, like 5 or 6 weeks. Ow. Alright, what are we at? I have Enchantment Artifact. I mean, I can discard my whole hand to get Delirium. I don't know if that's a winning line. There's just no way that's a winning line, right? Just no chance. How much damage did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home. I repeat, do not try this at home. This is for professionals only. Ooh, that's a good draw. So I guess I don't discard on the second attack? Because I haven't played a land yet. I think I pass. Okay, that kind of worked out right. And I am threatening lethal next turn. Because I can go level Cool But Rude, attack, discard, shock, untap here. That's 6 on each combat. That is 12 damage. So I am showing 12 damage next turn. Okay. What's the plan here, Stan? Chump blocking? Chump blocking? Okay, well, GG. That's dead, right? Opponent, I have shown you 12 damage. Please respond. Would you say this deck is cool or rude? I guess a little bit of both, right? I mean, look, I definitely took an extremely aggressive approach to that game, but I think it kind of worked out, you know? How did Ral become Orzhov? Stay tuned to find out. Okay, I think against this deck, I should lead on Bloodthorn Flail. So let's do that. The strangest pizza I got was pastrami. Mustard on pastrami. So okay, hold on. When you I have to ask. When you got the pastrami pizza, was it mustard in addition to tomato sauce, or was it just mustard replacing tomato sauce? Because if it was both, that I don't know. I don't know if I can handle both. You know what I mean? Okay, I gotcha. So normal, it's like a regular cheese pizza, pastrami on top, and then like drizzled mustard on it. Or you could have a mustard-based pizza, the same way you have white pizzas, right? Like you never had a white pizza before. It's just like a garlic cream sauce. I've had Alfredo pizza before. What's up, Felipe? I ended up going 4-4, so didn't have the greatest tournament, but I did have a lot of fun doing some other stuff too, some side events, and played an event on Sunday that was a good time. But did not have the greatest main event. Okay, they're playing... Wait, Detect Intrusion? So they're playing Spell Elementals. So the question is... Do I deploy a second Mako, or do I get back Flame Wake this turn? I could also deploy Cool But Rude instead of doing either of those. I think let's develop other Mako. Man, this is tough. No, maybe it is Cool But Rude. Cool But Rude, discard, Hex. Can I get Delirium? Creature, instant. If I discard everything, I can get Delirium. But that seems kind of wild, right? Let's just play this. I'm gonna even hold off on playing the Bloodthorn Flail. Save it for next turn. Okay, well now I want to do that, I think. Because that also gets the Mako outside of Burst Landing range, which is nice. Yeah, I like that. No, I didn't play the Affinity deck. I mean, I really, really wanted to play that Affinity deck, but it was just not in a good spot. And we just did so poorly with it on Thursday. So I ended up playing the Dimir Excruciator deck, which was fine. I mean, like I don't mind that deck, but I'm also not in love with it. I think I should have played Prowess instead. Ooh, that's a good draw. Creature instant. Alright, check this out. Level. Do this. And then I have 2 4-power creatures. That checks out. And just go to combat like this. See what they do. Sure. I think I'm still going to combat. Yeah. I could play the Mako. I mean, The problem is there's just not a lot I can do if they have Sunderflock. No matter what, if they have that card, I'm just kind of in a horrible spot. Oh no, if I play Mako, I can't get back Phoenix, so yeah, I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I wish this was a red source, so I get the other Phoenix back too. Only one red source, kind of tough there. Ah! There I go. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold that in hand. And I'll tell you what, I am not in a good spot if they have Sunderflock. But again, there's not really a lot I can do about Sunderflock. If they, if they have it, they have it. Second crab, maybe? They're at 16. What's my best play if they have second crab? Can I survive a turn is the question. I don't think I can. I mean, if I double Phoenix, I'm kind of just dead on board. Well, if they have second crab. But if we're assuming we can't beat second crab anyways, then I just probably can't play around it. Let's just go to combat. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't think I can beat that. It's the second crab that beats you. I can gamble for a Bitter Triumph. And then Bitter Triumph, kill the crab, take 9, go to 1. Yeah, I don't really see another way out of this. Mako as a blocker. Yeah, but it's so much easier for them to clear that, you know what I mean? Sometimes they play 2-mana kill spell, or 2-mana counter spell, so I'll do this now. Obviously, if they have snare, then I'm dead, but... But the reason I don't want to deploy Mako as a blocker is they have a lot more ways to answer Mako as a blocker than they do the Bitter Triumph on the stack. Okay. Alright. I'm dead. Maybe I want tactics against them. Let's just do all the discard. I'm going to try it like this. Ugh. It's kind of a weird hand. No 1-drop, but it does have Bitter Triumph, Cool But Rude. 2 Phoenixes is kind of sketchy. I'm going to throw this back. Okay. Okay, I can work with this. Do it like that. Lead on the worst one. Arguably the worst one. Cool but rude. Is he cool or is he rude? He's neither. How do they always have the spell snare, chat? They always have it. They do play like 4 of them, to be fair. What the hell is a TK? Cool, fluffy Luxodon. TK is like the sticker, it's like the, what is it? Sticker cost or something? I don't know what that is, but Apparently there's a sticker sheet called Cool Fluffy Luxodon. Noted. Jed, are you a cool fluffy Luxodon? YouTube watchers, are you a cool fluffy Luxodon? Let me know in the comments. I'm dead. I'm very dead. TK is ticket? What is it? What do you mean ticket? I guess I don't really know how the sticker sheets work, but get tickets? What kind of tickets? Speeding tickets? Speaking of speeding tickets, we got pulled over as soon as we, like, not as soon as we, but probably like 15 minutes after the Maryland border we got pulled over. But it was one of those deals where the speed limit went from 65 to 55, and I kid you not, the cop was on the radar, like, on the speed limit sign change. And it was just, you know, unfortunate.